Good afternoon. Hello, puppy. Freezing today in Tulsa. My friend Mike graciously allowed me to use his quiet home to do this video. And this one's a little bit of a harder one for me to put out there. It's not ghosting, it's safety. I hemmed and hawed about posting this out there for the world to see. Outside of jokes about like Bumble dates and videos of me complaining about being cold, I may post a lot of things, but I'm pretty choosy about the parts of my private life that I throw out there into the abyss. It's usually just me poking fun at myself like all the time. I very carefully decide and choose what videos, pictures to use that contain my children on my personal accounts, and I'm not someone to put my relationship status on my Facebook profile. But the fact of the matter is that I teach women safety, and I'm now in the world of dating, and it's a rather concerning place. I don't want to go into the several steps of stuff you can do to prevent. I think you know the whole share your location with someone before you meet a stranger. Ironically, it's my ex-husband and his wife with whom I share mine with when I go on dates. You already know how to pick a public place, etc. But one of the bigger issues I feel is the same thing that I teach in the beginning of my courses, and one that always gets us women hung up. This is the feeling like we're crazy part. And men, if this has happened to you, then this message is for you as well. I'm gonna read you a text here in a minute. And after showing this text exchange and explaining the situation to my dad last night, he encouraged me to share this with you because it is about safety. And in light of my recent video on gut punch yourself, well, I can tell you the gut punch I felt about meeting this person was accurate AF. So here's the scene. This was a person I messaged for just a couple of days while on a popular dating app. We chatted through the app while I traveled. As a mom to many kids, I'm very upfront about the sheer number of my brood, and my dating profile states that I am not looking for a baby daddy. They have one, and they are completely provided quite well for. So, side note, if you stalk me to social media from the apps, let it be for sure known that I am not kidfishing you. I have 9 friggin' awesome kids. With this particular man, we discussed meeting in person Thursday or Friday for drinks, and we exchanged numbers so we could talk on the phone. We spoke for 15 minutes before I went to sleep that night, and I was left a little uneasy. So keep in mind, this is messaging for maybe a total of a day and a half and one 15-minute phone call. He texted me in the middle of the night, and I did not reply because I was sleeping. At 9:30 the very next morning, I get a text accusing me of ghosting and wanting to know if we were still going to meet. I'm gonna read you my response, which was consequently the last thing I texted this person, and then I'm gonna read you his multiple going off the deep end replies to me. So here we go. This is the extreme here. Promise it won't break my heart if you're not interested anymore because you saw something on my Facebook you didn't like. It's just I need to know so I can move on to plan B, C, D, or F. I wrote back, I will say my gut feeling is we are probably not compatible relationship-wise. That's it. That's all I wrote, okay? Okay, no worries. I wasn't feeling that way at all. Thought we vibe. But if you're after a guy with a lot of money, good luck with that. Do you like older guys? I'd start there. Maybe set your preferences to 50 or 60 instead. Seriously. I'm debt-free and about to be having a kick-ass time traveling when I get my house sold. I have nobody to hold me back and can go anywhere in the country I want to. If you're suddenly not interested, that's fine. We can go ahead and close this plane down before it even takes off. I have plenty of options. So this is where our paths stop. Happy hunting out there. He also sends me some pictures of, I guess, all the women on his dating profile that like him. I think I'm probably going to be just fine, he says, and you should see my Tinder. So are we done? No to Thursday or Friday or ever? Just want to make sure before I block you and stuff. I think you want a sugar daddy, and I can't afford to be a sugar daddy to a woman with like 7 kids. Maybe there's like a single baron or a prince out there somewhere for you. LOL. Come on, you're my age, get real. We're going to address the baron thing here in a minute, okay? If I don't hear back from you by noon, he's still going, okay. If I don't hear from you by noon, I'll delete you from my life. Not too many guys out there are gonna go for that, just trying to help take care. You want real, you want honest, you just got it. To judge a man's value by his bank account is no different than a man basing a woman's value on her appearance alone. It's shallow and cringe AF. I'm 6'3", I have a 6-pack, debt-free, and have over $200K in the bank that I worked hard for and saved for myself. Seems like you have some valuable life lessons still to be learned and a little growing up to do. You've been single 9 months while actively searching for a guy and still haven't found something steady. Maybe you need to take a good long look at yourself in the mirror, kid. You're obviously doing something wrong. Bye now. He also still continues 30 minutes later. This is a text stream. Here we go. It starts, there's mine. We keep going. We keep going. We keep going. We keep going. I read it very sarcastically because I kind of have to laugh at it, but this behavior is slightly scary, okay? This is not the first time something like this has happened, and women need to understand that this is not normal, mature behavior. This is the type of behavior I teach to look for when being alert in public. Someone acting agitated or just out of a normal routine, only this is done via texting. Normal behavior when someone says they're not interested is to say okay and move on. There have been several instances where a man has told me he wasn't feeling a connection, and that's great. I put a like sign on that text and I got on with my life, just grateful he didn't drag it out and waste my time. But several times I've had something like this happen, and I understand why women don't address it, they just ghost. Which I feel that term is a bit of a stretch when you haven't met in person, but that's just my opinion. But within 3 minutes of stating I do not think we are compatible, this man attacked my character, he attacked my kids, and he attacked my lifestyle. I have never met this person. He is an internet entity. I owe him nothing but basic courtesy on the onset. And to be honest, even if we had met, I still do not owe him anything, especially if I felt bad vibes. There is another caveat too that I teach. Women have had it ingrained in them to be polite, which is not saying go around and be this rude Karen, but you don't owe anyone a conversation or a connection or an explanation if something they said doesn't sit right in your gut. And if someone takes the time to not waste your time by saying that they do not feel you would be compatible, then take it and move on. If someone doesn't text you back, take it as they aren't interested. Be disappointed, that's fine, but move on. Also, for the record, I don't need to marry a baron to become a baroness. I can just pay $109 and become a Baroness of Sealand by my own damn self. No, seriously, look, you could like scroll through here. I could even add a piece of Sealand territory. And finally, all jokes aside, you are not crazy for setting boundaries and listening to your gut. Much love to you all. Woot woot.